live in a fast-paced world. And with that, our Army is adapting and growing to meet these modern demands. But in order to move forward, you must have a strong foundation from which to build upon. When our soldiers are hard at work here, at home, or abroad, the Army Garrison is that foundation. It might not be the flashiest, but the people, infrastructure, and missions that represent the Army Garrison are there for our soldiers. We are there for their families, and we're always there weathering the storm along with our community. From the murky waters, life can be renewed. Through the harnessing of electricity comes unlimited possibilities. And through each other, we build community. A community of faith, tradition, family, and most importantly, warriors. No matter where we are from or what experiences we've had, we all converge right here at the Army Garrison. One team, one fight, Army Garrison here to support.
Hello everyone and welcome to the military program at Leadership Savannah. I'm your classmate, Lieutenant Colonel Bob Cuthbertson. Today I'm going to talk to you about Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield. I'm the Garrison Commander of Hunter Army Airfield. Colonel Mark Austin is the Garrison Commander of Fort Stewart. The Garrison Commander is essentially a small town mayor or a city manager, and we are responsible for the infrastructure that helps enable the training and readiness of all of the tenant units that are on our installations, and we also help ensure the quality of life for those military service members and their families while they prepare and execute their missions. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a history of Hunter Army Airfield before we get into what both installations do. Hunter Army Airfield is right here in your backyard in Savannah, and it has a pretty unique history. In 1927, the city of Savannah purchased 900 acres to become the Savannah Municipal Airport. In 1928, they saw that come to fruition, and it became the Savannah Municipal Airport. Unfortunately, the stock market crashed shortly thereafter, preventing any further expansion or real growth of the Savannah Municipal Airport. Hunter Army Airfield has changed hands with the city of Savannah 6 times in its existence. It was named after Frank O'Driscoll Hunter, who is a Savannah native and a World War I ace. So now that you have the history, that brings us to who we are today. Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield are power projection platforms. Fort Stewart, with over 288,000 acres, is the largest Army installation east of the Mississippi River. Hunter Army Airfield has the largest airfield in the Army's inventory. Those qualities make them strategically important for power projection. The 3rd Infantry Division is the most modern infantry division in the Army. But they're not just infantry, meaning foot soldiers. They are also an armored division, so they have the tanks and they need the area to train. That's why if you were to look at a map of Fort Stewart, it measures almost 40 miles across and almost 20 miles from top to bottom. That's a vast, expansive area to use for training to make sure that all of those soldiers can maintain their readiness and the lethality of their equipment and themselves. You can also see that the proximity of Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield is only about 8 miles apart. Now it takes a little bit longer to drive from the headquarters of Hunter Army Airfield to Fort Stewart, but we are very close in proximity. Fort Stewart touches over 5 counties, while at Hunter Army Airfield we're confined to just Chatham County. But we also have the Port of Savannah, ports of Charleston and Jacksonville to deploy from. We have our airfield that we can use to get everything from tanks to helicopters and personnel out on aircraft to go wherever the nation needs them. And we have 23 miles of railway on the installations alone that tie into the railway that is connected to the rail in the state of Georgia that can then take them to the ports or anywhere else that they need to go to conduct their training. Now, I've mentioned the 3rd Infantry Division a number of times in this brief. They are the largest unit on both Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield. And as such, their commander, Major General Norrie, is the senior commander, meaning the lead commander for all of the decisions that are made on behalf of the installations. His right-hand man is his Command Sergeant Major Reffert. And then of course there is Colonel Austin, who is the Garrison Commander of Fort Stewart, and Command Sergeant Major L.E. Capindo, who is his right-hand man. Here on Hunter Army Airfield, you already know that would be my role as the Garrison Commander, and my Garrison Sergeant Major is Sergeant Major Ryan Reichert. Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield are unique compared to most other military installations in the Army because we share our resources. So that means any amount of money that is authorized to the installations is shared between both Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield, as well as the people that we have working for us. With those resources, money and manpower, we provide over 180 services to the community of over 118,000 soldiers, families, civilians, and retirees. Those services range from housing to career transition, environmental services, wastewater treatment, outdoor recreation, airfield operations, just to name a few. But over 180 services. That's why we really I joke around and say that it is like being a small town mayor or city manager, because we have quite a bit that we have to maintain and be responsible for within the budget and the authorities that we have to do so. So now that I've talked to you about the history and the services that we provide, you're probably wondering why any of this is relevant to you as current or future leaders here in Savannah. Well, this is why. Georgia Southern conducted an economic impact study, and they determined that the military presence in the coastal empire is about $4.9 billion with a B dollars. Now that comes from the military service members that live here, that comes from the payroll, that comes from the retirees that stay and work in the area. It is the jobs linked to the military, specifically to those things that the military needs in the area. It's those soldiers that transition out and stay in the area and pay taxes. All of those things that they determine. That puts us second only behind the Port of Savannah. We also contribute to tourism and other aspects of the area. So the military brings quite a bit to the coastal empire. So in addition to the economic impact, we have housing and schools. So you may not realize this, but almost 70% of our military service members and their families live in your communities. The military is very much a transient community, and so when they can find areas where they can feel a linkage and feel welcome, they will seek out those areas. Which is why you're going to see a lot of us in your communities, because everyone seems to make us all feel welcome as we come into the area. Partnerships. I know you're probably tired of hearing me talk about the Patriot Day Run, but I can't not highlight that significant partnership with the City of Savannah to make this first ever event possible. And we've already started the planning for 2024. We're looking forward to what that partnership is going to enable for the community. But not only that, we have partnerships with the county as well. Not just Chatham County, but the City of Hinesville and Bryan County, with things that we call IGZAs, or Intergovernmental Service Agreements. Those IGZAs help both the outside community, for example, Chatham County that has animal control. Essentially, it means that we don't have to establish the program, we can just pay an already existing program, and it's mutually beneficial in that capacity. Those IGZAs don't happen unless it is mutually beneficial between the military and the outside agency providing that service. Now, you may think you're getting the behind the scenes and getting to know about the military through Leadership Savannah in a way that no one else can. But I'm here to tell you that you can bring your organization or your group onto the installation to learn about us, just like you're doing today, through an opportunity that we have with Come Meet Your Military or Come Meet Your Army. And not just tours, but we also have some other opportunities that you can take advantage of without being military, without having a military ID card. We have a golf course on both Fort Stewart and a golf course on Hunter Army Airfield. We have a bingo hall here on Hunter Army Airfield. We have trap and skeet shooting, and we have hunting and fishing available with the appropriate permits and licenses. All of those things are open to the public. All you have to do is get an access pass to get on the installation. That is an easy process, and we'll provide that to you in your packet so that you can learn more about how you can come on to the installations to take advantage of some of those opportunities. So finally, how you can help. This is where we would ask you as our neighbor and our partner in this to help share our story. We want you to tell people about what you saw on Hunter Army Airfield and what you saw at Fort Stewart. We want you to tell people about what you know about the Army specifically, but also the military. We want you to consider hiring veterans and Army spouses. We have a very diverse and robust veteran community in Southeast Georgia. We have a lot of ties and access to them. We also help transition them out. So if you're interested in being a part of that transition assistance program and helping to hire veterans or Army spouses, we can help you with that. They're a pretty reliable workforce and most of them want to stay in the area. Partner with the installation. There's lots of opportunities for us to do things together. Just bring your ideas to us. Encourage participation in your local junior ROTC programs. So ROTC, if you're not familiar, is the Reserve Officer Training Corps. So essentially in high school, the junior ROTC is a program that teaches kids about discipline, military drill and ceremony, and just general knowledge about the military. It is not anything that requires anyone to join the military. It is just an experience, a club in high school that you get to participate in. There's absolutely zero commitment in that, but it opens people's eyes up to what the military is and what the future could be for someone. And lastly, don't hesitate to invite the military or military speakers to your events. There is a process where you can request those from Fort Stewart Hunt Army Airfield, and we're happy to go out. But also you can request any military in general. We have the 3rd Infantry Division Band, the best damn band on the land. We have color guards. We have units that are ready to participate as volunteers or just be a part of your programs. Again, the answer will always be no if you don't ask. So please reach out to the garrison. I hope you enjoy the rest of today. We put a lot of work into making this a valuable program to you, and we hope you get a lot out of it. Please don't hesitate to ask any and all questions that you might have. But before I let you go, our first stop is Warriors Walk. This is probably the most important thing you're going to see today. Watch this video. It will explain to you why it's an important event, and you're going to get to go out and walk those grounds that you're going to see in this video, and you're going to get to check out those trees and those markers on the ground. And it will probably have an impact on you that you won't realize until you get on the ground. It's very important to us. We want to share it with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of today. We look forward to showing you more about Fort Stewart Hunt Army Airfield.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Jeff Fornchell. I work here at Fort Stewart, and I'd like to take you on a tour of Warriors Walk. Warriors Walk is here surrounded by the parade field of Cottrell Field. The division, when they deploy, they return at the parade field, hence the name Warriors Walk. So Warriors Walk was started, a committee was established in 2003, and they decided to do a living memorial for all the soldiers that were killed in action. In April of 2003, the first ceremony was conducted, and they did 34 trees. As of today's date, there's 469 white flowering crepe myrtle trees, and these trees are for the soldiers that were killed in action from the 3rd Infantry Division during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom, and it affected every rank from private to colonel. As we walk down through here, you'll see that there's different things left on the trees. The U.S. flag on every tree, the red and blue brigade marker designating which brigade they're in, and then on this, such as this one on Sergeant Tackett's tree, his family left this marker right here with the picture of Sergeant Tackett to show so people knew, kind of know what Sergeant Tackett looked like. Also, as we go through here, we'll put a link on here where you can get the names of all the soldiers from the division website. There's a page for Warriors Walk, and also there's an organization called Wreaths for Warriors Walk, and they do a ceremony once a year in December to put a Christmas wreath out on each one of these trees. I'd like to say goodbye to everybody. Come out here sometime when you get a chance if you're down here at Fort Stewart. Walk around, come down, sit on a bench that an Eagle Scout put in for us. Or if you can't make it to Fort Stewart, go to one of the websites, look up a soldier while you're having your coffee in the morning. Maybe you could remember a soldier then. So signing off from Fort Stewart, have a great day.